How's it going, everybody? Alex here with long cut. How's it going, everybody? Alex here with a much delayed and action. Hi, it's me. Much delayed update on the progress that's going on here. So, thank you everybody who wrote asking about my well-being. I know I kind of in that last video I mentioned that I was doing doctor things and nerve pinch and all that kind of stuff. It's not anything life-threatening, but thank you all for your concern. I made a big, long, dumb list of the things that I've actually accomplished since I spoke to you all last, and I'm sorry I don't have any fun projects for this one. This is just an update so I didn't drop off the face of the planet, and so I can let some of you know what's going on. Oh, it's hot down here. Anyway, I haven't really had an opportunity to go on and check comments and reply to people and all that. I keep one of the reasons that I didn't do a hey, here's me doing some plumbing type videos because I kept menting to do a Q&A video and scoop up all the questions everybody's been asking and do all that, but I don't yet, spoiler alert for what I'm going to be talking about, I don't yet have my basement space taken care of, which means I don't have any place to set up my real big boy computers. So all of this editing that I have to do is on teensy weensy laptop Vision, and it's with the things going on with my neck, if I'm in that position for a while, it starts to pinch and then my fingers go numb, and it's just a disaster. So hopefully soon I will have stuff set up here, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I got a couple big long emails from some people. Thank you. The person, the big long, you know who you are. You talked about the Grado headphones and all that type of stuff. The fellow who sent me the preliminary stuff on the 3D printer probe, you know who you are, with the little PC board and all that. That looks freaking awesome. I don't know if it works freaking awesome, but it looks freaking awesome. I did not respond because I don't have an opportunity to set anything up and test anything or really go through the time to go through and do the due diligence that I think it should. But words. Anyway, here is what I have been able to accomplish in the meantime. So here are all the things. This is in addition to moving in and building tons and tons of temporary IKEA furniture and whatnot. But we did paint everything. So basically every wall in the house except in the basement. And no, that's about it. The basement and the kitchen. We did paint the kitchen, I think. And the wife did a lot of that. God bless her soul. And I just had to do the crappy parts. But painted everything, replastered and sealed the outside walls. So I'll either do a little inset here. I don't want to do a whole video on redoing plaster and cement. I don't know. If you're super interested, I can. But maybe I don't know. I have some footage of it. But so the outside walls. If you don't know how South Philly patios go, it's like a slab of cement and then cinder block walls on the sides. Not particularly attractive. So I just did, I guess you'd call it a skim coat, just so you don't see the seams, and then just a little bit of random texturing around, because even though wood is super expensive, cement is super cheap still, but it's also super heavy, so it's not something I can really do messed up. I did that a couple months back, but had to go finish it for the first time. I had to go paint it, seal it, whatever. I used an elastomer coating on it, so it hopefully lasts a little while in our terrible weather variants we have up here in the Northeast. Replaced the garbage disposal, resealed the sink, patched the concrete slab outside. That was fun. So to patch all the cracks and then lay a new layer of resurfacer on top. Pressure washed everything. So finally, that was the first big homeowner tool type purchase was just a pressure washer. They're $70 now or something. I just got one of the cheapies, but it worked great. So I don't know if I think I may have talked about this in the previous video, but they put a little stone, an above ground planter out there with stone paving slab type deals. I thought they were great until I pressure washed them. Then I found out that they were tan. They were just that filthy. So I had to pressure wash the whole outside of the house and all the walls and all that nonsense. Treated for critters. You have to treat for critters because creepy crawlies and whatnot. Let's see, restained the front doorway, did some touch-up paint on the door. It's a very pretty door, but they just left the stain to the whims of fate, so it was kind of ragged. Replaced all the door sweeps, installed an air conditioner, just a wall unit upstairs. Replaced the bathroom sink pipes. Oh, man, that was the first big pain in the butt, because they didn't use any kind of like pipe thread or anything like that, and those pipes were ancient. So I went to tighten it up because it was leaking a little bit, and it just like snapped right off. So I was like, well, guess I'm putting new pipes in. So yeah, put new pipes in the sink. Replaced the wood that had been soaked and damaged. Replumbed the shower with plastic tubing, PX, just the red tubing. Installed temporary exterior lighting, cat proofing. So yeah, we have a neighbor next door who, like, I think she feeds the alley cats. So they all come around our backyard and they just poop all over our back stoop area. So that above ground planter is just like a giant kitty litter pretty much. So I had to put in little, flashy, scary motion detector lights and ultrasonic like shriekers just to keep them out of there, because oh god, it smelled so bad. I went back there one day after the wife had put a planter accidentally in front of the ultrasonic kitty scare things, and so it was blocking it. So they were like, oh yeah, our kitty litter's back, and just defecated all over the place. Went out, just like this plume of flies flew up. I was like, oh god. So had to go out with the gardening bags and like scoop it all out, put it all off to the side, and then treat it for flies and everything. It was lovely. But yeah, alley cats, trying to cat proof the place. As far as the basement, which is the part most pertinent to you guys, because as soon as I get this set up, that's when I'm going to have like a lab set up and I can move all my stuff out of freaking storage. Been experimenting with the moisture levels down here. So we've had a whole bunch. If you live in the Northeast, or if you've been looking at the news, we've had a crap ton of rain going on lately. This has been a very rainy summer. I have to fix the squeaky stairs eventually. So yeah, experimenting with the moisture levels in here, wanted to see what was going on. So because of all the cycles of rain and dry and heat and cold that have happened in here throughout this summer, I've gotten to see the kind of moisture cycle of this basement. The only problem I really have is the front wall. Well, the front wall, but behind the wall behind you, just turn around and look, it's right back there. The wall behind you there, my front wall, because that is the city side. So that is it's under 6 feet of dirt and cement. That's where all of the sidewalk is there, our stoop, the road, the sewage, all that crap. So there's not too much I could do about that front part. So we do get a little bit of moisture that just seeps through that wall, and the drain is right there too. So it's not a big deal, but it is going to be a little bit moist up there. Sorry for people who hate that word. So that's going to have to be taken into consideration. I didn't mention on a previous video that the floor is sloped down toward the drain there, so that's really the only trouble spot. So went through, patched up all the basement sidewalk cracks. We have a stoop, the Philly stoop. So if you know what a stoop is, that's a series of stairs going up to your front door, usually made out of like stone or marble or something like that. Anyway, these are brick and stone, and the masonry was not. It's just kind of falling apart in a couple different places. So patched that up. It looks fine, but it was not waterproof. So patched that up to try to keep some of the water from sinking down through the cement into the wall. But again, all of the drainage and the neighbors' sidewalks, that's going to get in there too. I snuck over and patched up some of the neighbors' sidewalk too a little bit. Shh, don't tell them. And if they watch this video, it wasn't me. It was the sidewalk fairy that comes when you lose a tooth, and no comment. So in my considerations of what flooring to eventually use, I figured I probably want something with airspace underneath. I was thinking of doing jigsaw puzzle type interlocking membrane sort of panels, put that down, and then put like workspace type floor on top of that. And then we're still going to go with the false walls or whatever. We're gonna go old school. We're gonna kind of do a room in a room and partition it off into like 3 spaces. So we'll have the kind of wet space up there. It has the sink. It's going to have access to all the utilities. that's where, you know, we're gonna have a little bit of moisture, so I'm going to have the an emergency pump down that way, and I've already put in a dehumidifier, so we're gonna have that running all the time back there. Then this middle section is going to be the workspace. Going to have to run electrical for all that. We're going to have to put up some walls, do some kind of ceiling. I'm still not positive what I'm going to do yet, but I do need to kind of soundproof this. Not so much to keep the noise from the outside out, which was that was the big problem. If you remember that all the old videos, the motorcycles and the lunatics going by, and the gunshots and the screaming and the running and the purge, not going to be soundproof. But we're going to probably do some experiments and a little math figuring out what the optimal price to sound reduction ratio is as far as construction. I have a couple ideas, but we'll get there when we get there. I have to get a freaking floor in first. Anyway, and then the back section is going to be all the, you know, the furnace and the boiler and access to the crawl space under the kitchen and like all that stuff. So yeah, which means I'm going to have to hang 3 doors. Probably going to just build a wall starting here, seal it off, door here, door back there for access to that, door back there for access to that. Read all the codes regarding basements. So pretty much codes in our city, as long as you're not doing anything like structural or dangerous, it's okay. They don't care if you put up partitions. Since there's a furnace back there, I need to fire code and have X amount of like access space. That's fine. I'm not really losing any of that. You lose it as work area, but anything that's not inside the central area is just going to be storage. So it's just going to be storage tucked behind there, and between that and these walls here, we're going to leave some airspace. So probably, I don't know, 4-6 inches, something like that, so that we can have some air circulation just to take care of the moisture, keep the mold down. The dehumidifier will then be effective for the entire area. The floor will be sealed, but it will also have airspace underneath. It will have a moisture vapor barrier membrane just under the floor, not on the cement, so that can just kind of, you know, breathe and do what it naturally has to do. There will be clean air intake, fresh air intake. There will be air circulation. There will be air filtering. So don't worry about all that. We're going to put in an exhaust hood, little area for all that nonsense that I have to do, an exhaust over 3D printing. Like eventually that's all going to happen, but I still have the old washer dryer sitting right over there in the middle of the freaking room, so I can't put a floor down. Obviously, if I could have put a floor down, I could get started and at least pull my stuff out of storage, which is costing me $150 a month. But because of the semiconductor shortage, the labor shortage, the longshoreman shortage on the docks, the shipping container shortage, the premium you have for cargo space that's going on, appliances seem to be one of those things that's just impossible to get and ship around anywhere. At least the ones that you want. Like, they have the staples, but like we already have functional-ish stuff that tears your whole freaking clothes to pieces because it's industrial. Yeah, we already have that, but I want to detach it from the gas lines. I want to detach it from the exterior vent, go with, like I mentioned before, like electric ventless, modern, high efficiency, all that type of deal. And also a combination unit, so it's not... The space that takes up, amazingly, is like more than the entirety of the workspace that I had in the old apartment. That's kind of mind-blowing. I'm going to be able to put workbenches all over here. But we have to get the stupid stuff out of the way. And those are going to have to be disassembled to get out of here, the old things, because they're definitely not fitting up these freaking stairs. So yeah, we can get back to making interesting videos when we get a floor in here and start to move some stuff back in. Until then, it's going to be the vlog stuff. I'll try to get better about it. Like I said, I kind of like played mind games on myself, thinking like I'm going to do a Q&A, and then just like never did a Q&A. So I'll have to pull together some of the footage of doing this stuff and stick those up here. That's all for now. Thank you for your patience. Don't know what kind of regularity these videos are going to be coming out on, but like I said, I'm going to try to behave myself and get a little bit better about it. So yeah, until the next video, get inside and do some home improvement.